Welcome to this video on solving absolute value equations. To understand the concept of absolute values and its definition, please subscribe my channel and view part 1 of this lesson. In this lesson, you learn to simplify and solve the absolute value equations and represent the solution in number line. What do you mean by solving an equation? Solving an equation is to find the value of an unknown variable in that equation. Let's see how to solve this equation. Absolute value of x is equal to 3. So now in this, the left hand side already the absolute value term is isolated. So we can go ahead with the next step. What is the second step? To split this into two equations. What is the first equation? X is equal to 3. And the second equation will be x is equal to negative of 3. Negative 3. Now we can go ahead and graph this in the number line. So you know that the middle term will be 0 and the numbers to the right of 0 will be positive numbers. The numbers to the left of 0 will be negative numbers. So our solution here is x equal to 3 and minus 3. So let us go ahead and we can mark this minus 3, one of the value or the solution, and minus 3 and 3. Correct? Yes. Let's try the second question. Here we see that on the left hand side, the absolute value is not isolated. There is a plus 3 also. We need to eliminate this positive 3 from the left hand side. So our first step will be to isolate the absolute value term on the left hand side. So I can write it as x minus 2 plus 3 minus 3, because I have to eliminate this 3 on the left side. Now remember, always whenever you do any operation on the left hand side of an equation, the same operation has to be done on the right hand side as well. So since you have subtracted 3 from the left hand side, we'll subtract 3 from the right hand side also. Now see what will happen over here. We can see that plus 3 and minus 3 on the left hand side will get cancelled out. And what is left over there? X minus 2, right? So x minus 2 is equal to 2. So here the absolute value term is already isolated. Now we have to go on to the second step of splitting this into two equations. What is the first equation? X minus 2 is equal to 2 as such, and then x minus 2 is equal to negative of 2. So here we can solve this. So x will be equal to transpose minus 2 on the left hand side to the right hand side will become plus 2. So minus 2 will become plus 2. So x is equal to 4. Again, here x is equal to minus 2. When you shift to the right hand side, it will become plus 2. So minus 2 plus 2, which is ultimately 0. So now let us plot this on the real line. 0. All numbers on the right hand side of the number line. Right hand side of 0 on the number line is positive, and all numbers to the left hand side 0 on the number line is negative. You already know this. But our solution here is 4 and 0. So let us plot this 4 and 0 here. So 4 and 0 is our solution. So once you get the solution, you can also verify and check if your answer is right. So that is not part of the answer, but you can verify it. How do you verify? I can substitute 4 in this equation. So when you substitute 4 here, x minus 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, right? We are in an attempt to verify this. Let us verify whether the answer you got is right. So what you have to do here, first you plug in the values 4. Plug in the value 4 in this equation. So 4 minus 2 plus 3. It should be equal to 5, right? So 4 minus 2 is 2 plus 3 equal to 5. This implies 2 plus 3 equal to 5. This implies 5 is equal to 5. It's true. So your answer 4 is right. Similarly, you can try and check if your answer 0 is correct. What do you have to do here? Plug in the value 0 in the place of x. So you get 2 plus 3. This is again true. So your answer is right. Let's try this question. What is the first step? To isolate the absolute value term. So this will be 2x minus 1 absolute value minus 3. I have to eliminate negative 3, so I'll add with 3 on the left side. The same operation of adding with 3 should be done on the right hand side as well. So we can cancel this minus 3 and plus 3, and the left hand side will become absolute value of 2x minus 1 is equal to 5. So 2x minus 1 is equal to 5 is our equation to solve. Now the next step, because it is already isolated, so let us go ahead and do the second step. What is the second step here? To split it into two terms, so or equations. So the first equation will be 2x minus 1 is equal to 5, and the second equation will be 2x minus 1 is equal to minus 5. So here 2x minus 1 transfer to the other side, it become plus 1. This is equal to 5 plus 1. So 2x is equal to 6. Now I need x on the left side, so I can use the inverse operation dividing with 2 on left side and right side. So when I divide 2 on the left side, 2x divided by 2, what happens here? This 2 and 2 get cancelled out. So I get x over there. X is equal to 3, right? Now let's solve the second part of the equation, which is 2x. I transfer minus 1 to the right hand side, it will become plus 1. So this is minus 5 plus 1. So 2x is equal to, what is minus 5 plus 1? It's nothing other than minus 4. So now we can divide it with 2. So this implies 2x divided by 2, 2 and 2 get cancelled out. So I get x here. So x is equal to minus 4 divided by 2 is minus 2. So I got the solution as x equal to 3 and x is equal to minus 2. Let us go ahead and plot this. 0, 1, 2, 3, all the positive numbers and negative numbers on the left hand side, and then x equal to 2, right? So x is equal to 2. I can shade that minus 2, and then I can shade x equal to 3. Okay, hope you understood this. To verify your answer, as I already said in the previous slide, that we plug in the values of x, right? So you can similarly plug in the value of x as minus 2 and 3 and see whether the left hand side and the right hand side matches or holds. Okay, now I have an inquiry question for you. Write the solution of this. Absolute value of x minus 1 is equal to negative 2. So think for a second, and what will be the answer of this? So if you see here, you remember the concept of absolute value. Absolute value always return a positive number. So in this case, the result of absolute value is said to be negative, which can never happen. So there is no solution for this equation. There is no solution because for the reason that this right hand side is negative. Absolute value of number will always be positive and it cannot be negative. So here is a real life application problem related with absolute value equations. On a highway, driving too fast or too slow can cause accidents. For safe highway driving, there should be no more than 20 km per hour difference between car speed. So it says that there are two persons who are traveling at a speed of 97 km per hour and 113 km per hour on the same section of highway. We need to find or verify whether or not they are driving safely relative to each other. So when is it safe journey? When the difference is not more than 20 km. So in this case, we need to find out the difference between this two speed given and see whether it is less than 20. That is the question. Okay, so let us do this operation. So 113 minus 97. When you do this, what you're getting is 16, right? So 16 km per hour, which is lesser than 20 km per hour. So it is safe journey. So we can conclude this as safe driving. Now let's see the second question. So the second part of this question is the average speed on a stretch of highway is 110 km per hour. If Lewis is traveling at an average speed, determine the minimum and maximum speed for others to be driving safely relative to Lewis on this stretch of highway. So this person is traveling at 100 km per hour. When the others traveling along with him are in a safer side is when the difference between the speed is 20. So when I say lesser than 20, so that means the difference can be either above 110 or it is below 110, but the difference should be 20. Okay. So if you plot this, let us consider 110 is the average speed of this particular person given. He's traveling, and then any other person who is traveling with him, if the difference of the speed is 20, so that means lesser than 20, so it is minus 20, or if it is plus 20, we can say it is safe travel, right? So when it is minus 20, so you get 110 minus 20. What is 110 minus 20? So this is 90. So 110 plus 20 is 130. So if a person is traveling between this 90 km per hour or 130 km per hour, then we can say it is safe travel. So what is the minimum value here? For safe travel, the minimum value is 90 km per hour, and the maximum is 130 km per hour. Fine. So this is the answer key for that particular question. So here is a home learning task. Work out the questions and verify your answers based on your understanding of topics which you covered in this video. Please go ahead and do this question. The answer key of all these questions are given in this video as well. You can refer the answer keys. Hope you enjoy this lesson. To get a continuity of the next topics, please do watch the next video posted in this channel.